Hi everybody, this is Paulette from Single Mamas. I just want to welcome all of you to my channel. So in this channel we will be discussing things that we deal with as a single parent, the struggles, everything that I have gone through, and I will be sharing those things with you. But even just certain things that work for me as a single parent that might be helpful to you. And it's going to give you guys room as well to go ahead and make comments of what helps you out as a single parent that you can share with me and with other parents who may be watching. So it is a struggle being a parent, being on your own and having to lift everything by yourself. And sometimes channels like this is very helpful. They just kind of give us a support system that we need. Some of us really do have support systems already set in place with families and friends, and some of us actually don't have that. So that's why I'm making this video, so that way we can be a support to each other for those who don't have that support system set in place. So I do apologize already for the lighting. It's already late. This is the only time I can do it today, but I will be doing some more videos later on, and I promise you the lighting is going to be better. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the intro, and I'll be sharing my story, and then we'll go from there. Okay guys? Alright, here we go. Welcome everyone to Single Mama. This channel is all about being a support to those parents who are single and on their own, raising their children, needing a little bit of advice or just a support and just some understanding from someone who's doing it on their own as well. I'm here to welcome all of you. Please stay a while and feel welcome at this channel, and feel free to discuss what you feel. Alright everybody, so this is what I'm going to be sharing with you. I'm going to share my story real quick, and then we'll just go over some things that this channel will be providing for you guys that could be helpful for you single parents out there. So even if you're not a single mom, but you're a single dad, you're definitely more than welcome to watch. And those who are not single parents but have great ideas, or have tidbits on how to raise your children that have been helpful for you, you are welcome. Now, one thing that I will say right now, please no bashing in the comment sections, and let's be welcoming to one another. Parents are here to look for resources and to help each other out, but not to put down anybody. In here, people do things different on how they raise their children, so everybody's welcome to say how they do things. But one thing that I don't do as a parent, I don't frown upon about on others on how they raise their children, because everybody really is different, and whatever works for them may not work for somebody else, and that's okay. But as long as their children are healthy, they're happy, and they're thriving, and they're doing really well, there's nothing wrong with how they're doing things, as long as children are not being affected. So I'm going to start off to say that I have been a single parent since I became pregnant. So I do not know what it's like to actually have that main support from the other parent. I actually had to have my son on my own. I gave life to it by myself. My son, he's an amazing child. I love my baby so much. He's everything. He's the world to me. The only support system I had in place when I did have my son in the hospital was my mother and my sister, and then my sister's children. So I'm really grateful towards them. I'm very happy to have, family that has been there for me, and they've been loving my son and been there for my little boy. But yeah, let me tell you, it was a struggle to be at the hospital and to be asked, by, nurses and the doctor and other staff, whether the father was going to show up, and, they're clearly that he wasn't going to be there, and to have to answer that. So it has been very tough from then on till now. My son is going to be 3 in September, and his dad has showed up, through telephone. You'll talk to my son, things like that. And then, he finally did step in to do child support, but technically he's not in my son's life. He's only maybe seen him twice in his life. So my son doesn't know what it's like to actually have a father in the home, what it's like to be raised by a father, and to actually feel a connection with a male. He knows nothing about that. And I think that is a huge struggle. And so one of my worries as a single mother is that, you know, how his, like, when he gets older and maybe his dad might ask for him later on and want to make connection with him, but it might be too late. Or my other struggle is that, um, I don't know how it's going to work when he does decide to be around, because his father is in a whole different other state on the other side of the world. And to do that back and forth with him is going to be a huge worry for me. I worry a lot because I don't know what's over there. If, there is a decision to be made to let him go over there. But I still have my issues with that and my struggles with that as a mother. We do become very overprotective of our children. And, I'm one of those that I'm very, very involved in my child's life, in school, in his lessons, and everything he does all the way around. I always try to do my very best to educate my son, as little as he is. And I'm also a preschool teacher. I have been teaching for more than 18 years. So I know what it's like to deal with all types of children and behaviors and things like that. So I try to do my very best to teach my son, the right behaviors. And of course, it's not always going to happen. Kids are kids. They're going to, be themselves and have tantrums and do different things like that. But yeah, so anyway, to speed it up, I had to literally deal with having my son, not having that support from his father, when he was born. I want to say at the age of 3 months, I instantly had to get a job, which is something that, is something that we all do. All moms nowadays, this is the new age. All moms work, where majority of them do. And if you don't and you're a single mom, that's okay. I mean, that's great to actually have that opportunity to be at home. I would like to be at home with my son and raise him, instead of putting him into a school where he's going to pick up all kinds of things. And I mean, that's also part of learning as well, for him. To have those social skills and, have positive social skills, but at the same time, he may pick up some negative things as well. But that's when, as a mother, I have to come in and help correct those situations. But yeah, at the age of 3 months, I instantly had to get a job, and I had to put him straight into daycare. And man, the struggle became really real when I had to do that. Breastfeeding, and then going through postpartum, and then going through not receiving child support at that time, and then just feeling the pressure that I had to, find a way to get a new place for me and my son, and then just working the regular hours, and just leaving my son in the hands of someone that, I don't know. And just, he's so fresh, he's still little, and to have to put him in the daycare system was very hard for me. And so honestly, he did really well, but the daycare that he ended up in wasn't a good fit. And so it was very difficult to actually find a good daycare for him. But we went through the process, and then he actually started getting sick a whole lot. He was coming in with bruises at 3 months, and I just had to check in on him every once in a while. But the good thing is that I was able to work in that same daycare, and then, I had to sneak in and watch here and there, and well, the teachers didn't know. And so my son was going through it at 3 months. The care wasn't all that great. And so as a mother, I had to make the right choice to move him out of there and then go and work somewhere else where I can put him. And so he actually did well in the next daycare that we ended up going into. And he had amazing teachers that really, really loved him and took good care of him. So that made me feel so much better. So as one thing I'm going to say as a single moms, if you feel like something's not right, follow your gut. it's telling you that something's not right at that place. So definitely pull them out. But before you pull them out, make sure that you have a backup plan. Definitely use your, if you guys have vouchers, definitely use your voucher system to ask them all the places that are available for you to look at for daycares, and start looking and seeing which one has the highest, star ratings when you look at the reviews. Definitely do tours, look around and see what they have to offer, things like that. So I'm not going to get too much into it because that's going to be another video all in itself, is just daycare, because daycare it's hard for single parents, because there's only one of you and there's but so much you can do, and you do have a full-time job for some of us, so it's just, yeah, just trying to find the right fit for you is difficult. So speeding it up, we went through all of that. We went through the sickness, and then we went through COVID. My son was about 8 months when COVID came through, and that in itself was a struggle because our school closed down, so I was out of work for a while. So yeah, so I had the opportunity to actually stay at home, which I loved it. I loved being at home with my boy and just helping raising him, in that way. But then it was great to be at home. It was great to have like my teaching him on my own and just to go through a routine with him. But the struggle was that I was with my family at the time, with my mother. I went through a depression because I really didn't have contact with people. This is when we first started COVID, and it was scary. And, people were passing away like nothing. I mean, it was very rampant at that time. So, not having contact with people, not having people come around, be able to see my son, things like that. It was very difficult. And so another video that I'm going to be doing is talking about depression and anxiety and going through postpartum depression. Those things are very, very real. And I feel sometimes it's not always talked about. I feel like there's a lot of super moms out there, which is great. We do need super moms because they help us organize and find ways to thrive as a mother, as a parent. But sometimes we don't get down to the nitty-gritty of the negative parts about being a parent, and it's very difficult because some of us do go through the depression and the hurt and going through loneliness and not having the support that we need, and going through the stressors of trying to be the one parent who has to provide everything, finances, a home, having everything set in place, having your child at school, having the right job, having the right income, and being able to pay for everything, and doing it all by yourself. It is very wearing and tiring. And that's something I will discuss as well in another video, because it's a lot, it's a lot that we go through as single parents, that, it's important to know people, to have family involved, and, to have friends as well. They can help out. Don't ever be afraid to ask for help, because I'm telling you, you can fall into that pit of feeling alone or feeling depression if you don't start asking for help and reaching out and actually voicing what you're feeling, and being able to give your child off to a parent, to another, sibling, or to a family member, because sometimes we need a break. And I happen to not ever really get a break like that. Sometimes I may have it here and there, but not the way that, I would like to. I don't know what it's like to actually go off and do my own thing and have fun. I don't get a chance to really do that, but I would like to. So now the other thing I'm going to speed up into is that my son is going to be 3 in September, so he's in his terrible twos. So going through the process of watching him grow up, and he's doing really well, it's making me sad, and it's making me go through my emotions, because he's my only child. And so to watch him grow up so quickly, it's another thing too. it's sad to see them just kind of move on and get older. And I know at a certain age I'm expecting for him not to really want mommy as much and want to explore everything and wanting to be around other friends and doing other things. I need to be prepared for the moment that he's not going to want mommy. And so the type of child I have, I did such a great job of letting him be himself and being curious and explore things and be independent, that he is a child that he will literally go into settings and be okay. He will socialize with other children like nothing. He'll say hi to people like nothing. And when it comes to school, he will separate from me just fine. So he's not the type of child that he'll cling on to me for dear life. I mean, he'll have those moments that very once in a while he'll do that. But he's comfortable to go into other situations when it comes to school and things like that. And just all depends though, because I know there's a moment in time where he was constantly getting sick. So he wasn't like, used to being at school every single day. He had to miss a little while. And so those transitions of being comfortable being home and then having to go back to school, that's when he would, show, signs of stress. But outside of that, majority of the time he does really do well, moving himself forward and transitioning into other, situations and getting to know other children and, daycare providers, things like that. So where I'm at right now is that I am dealing with different things as a mom. I have been holding down the fort. I have my own place. I have my own vehicle. I have lots of things on my own, and it's because I work so hard to get it. My son, he has his needs very well taken care of. I provide majority of everything for him. It has been hard to do that, but I've done it. And so I think one of the things I will be asking you guys, if you can please share how you guys deal with having to wear so many hats and having to, put all the stress on your shoulders and having to do everything as a parent. Sometimes I do really well. One of the things that I really have to say, thank goodness, knock on wood, I haven't had to go without. But one of the things that, like I said, I have battled with is depression and anxiety here and there. And it's because I have so much on my shoulders and, dealing a lot with my son and going through some of the processes that I had to go through with him when he was much younger, before he became 2, from birth all the way through. We did have to get early intervention, so there are certain things that he was kind of lacking, and I was going through the stress of, is there something wrong with my son? And so that's something on another video all in itself. We did think he was autistic for a little while, but we kept working with him. I kept doing everything that early intervention wanted to do, and he finally got outside of that and been able to do really well on his own, and he's thriving now. But it had to take a lot of work from me because, again, we had COVID, so early intervention was not coming to the homes. They weren't going to the schools, so pretty much they just had a camera and watched them all day long. Not all day long, but watched them within that time that they were visiting. And so, I had to go through the process of, teaching him everything he needed to know and having early intervention just kind of tell me through a video, okay, well, do this, do that, just make sure this is what you're supposed to do. And so, yeah, the stress was real. And, yeah, there was a lot going on at that time, but we recently got him tested and he is not autistic, but he is doing really well. Some of the things that he was going through was quite a bit. So that's something else that I will be talking about in other videos. So I'm going to just take a few more minutes and then we'll end here. And then I'll leave you guys room in the comment section to kind of tell me a little bit of how you do things, or a little bit of your story as a single parent and the things that you go through, or you can talk about a little bit of your stressors. And then the other videos that are going to be coming up is dealing with early intervention, finding the right daycare. We're going to talk about depression and anxiety. And then another thing that I'm going to be talking about too is weight loss. So what I'm going to do is once we start the weight loss video, we're all going to be doing it together, because I think as a parent, you know, I didn't always look like this. I didn't always look yummy and full like the way that I am right now. So, you know, that was another struggle as well. I think for me as a parent, when I was going through the stress every once in a while, I tend to overeat and I eat a lot. That is my comfort. And so, yeah, I need to do something about my weight. So I will be starting something on that as soon as I do the video. Hopefully you guys can join me and we can talk about things that can help us to lose weight, and then we'll keep each other accountable. Okay. So yeah, so right now, I'm just literally holding down the fort, and I'm doing everything that I can to keep support systems set in place. And sometimes it's hard because like the people that you do know that are friends, they don't have children, so it makes it very hard to be able to relate and to go out and to do things. And so what I really am looking for, I'm hungry to be around moms that understand my situation. Even if they are married, I don't care. I just want to be around women that have children and that understand. And then when my son flips out, they already know what that's like. You know, they're not going to sit there and give you the side eye, because, you know, you have those kinds of people, especially, you know, people who are single or don't have children. Even if they are together, they don't understand at a certain point why children do what they do. And so sometimes when you go out in public, you do tend to get the side eye, and I hate that. But, you know, I don't like to feel criticized or judged because my son, you know, has been up majority of the time and he didn't get to take a nap, and so he's grumpy. And so people don't understand that. They only see like 10 seconds of what's happening with the child and they instantly judge you. So yeah. So anyway, right now I'm just looking for, you know, to be that person that steps out there to find support, even if it's through, you know, like this, through YouTube. And just make a group where people can come and freely speak their mind and talk about what they do as a parent, and just, you know, be open with one another. So for right now, this is all I have, and today is my first video, so I'm starting today my channel, and I hope this is helpful in some kind of way or somehow it relates to you. But please share some stuff with me. But I believe tomorrow I will be starting some of those other videos that I was talking to you about, and of course hopefully the lighting is going to be a lot better, so please forgive this for now. But yeah, so you guys take care of yourselves. Again, I'm Paulette from Single Mamas. Please be looking out for other videos that might be helpful to you. And so please like and subscribe, okay? Show me some love, show me some support. And then, you know, let's keep talking with each other and keep in contact, okay? So you guys take care, have a good one, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.